I'd like to share a story with you about a client of mine who I'm really proud of. Their main office is in California, and they have a satellite facility up in Oregon. I was working with the Oregon facility because this company was doing really well, and they had outgrown their capacity. The Oregon team felt they needed to move, and they were waiting on the leadership team from Fremont to tell them what to do. Now, for those of you who have worked at a satellite facility, you've probably heard this term because it comes up pretty much every time for me when I work with a satellite facility like them. Red-headed stepchild. I know I'm going to hear it. It's how they feel. What we had to do was shift this team to take a greater level of ownership, to take responsibility and be willing to lead their facility. After going through my series of workshops, they took on the critical initiative of what to do. What do they do now that they were outgrowing their plant? They broke up into 3 teams. One team took on the parking issue because there was no more parking. People were complaining on a daily basis since there were no spots available. That team met with the landlord and did several things. First, they restriped the lot, helping to organize the parking and create a few more spaces. Then they asked the landlord if there might be some additional spaces they could use, and they got a dozen more. They then met with neighboring businesses and were able to get some more from them, and then they researched mass transit. They provided incentives to employees who would use mass transit or ride their bikes to work, and the parking problem went away. A second team looked at their facility because they had felt they had outgrown it. They implemented lean initiatives on their own and started to use their facility much more efficiently. They had unused space they had never considered because there was going to be an expense to getting it up to speed. Now they looked at that space and the potential cost to make that space useful. The third team, which was going to be looking for the facility, saw what the first 2 teams were doing, and they decided to change plans. At one time, they had run a swing shift and it had been unsuccessful. After going through the workshops, they understood what had caused the problems. And they decided to change their plan to now implementing a swing shift, now that they knew what to do. The leadership team came up from California to hear their presentations, and they were anticipating the recommendation of a move. And this was going to be an easy 7-figure move, not to mention the incredible disruption to their customers. Instead, when the Oregon team presented, their conclusion was, with the changes they had made and the ones they wanted to make, for less than $100,000, they could stay in their existing facility another 5 to 10 years. And senior leadership approved it. They were so excited, hugging each other, because they got to stay in their old facility another 5 to 10 years instead of a shiny brand new one. And they were excited because they got to own that decision. They were the ones who decided what to do. I was so proud of them and proud of their president too, because I thought his key gain would be the 7-figure savings. And he said, no, the thing I am most proud of is the cultural and communication change within this location and how they are now working together and the level of ownership they have, because that's what's sustainable.